Okay, so let's start working on our trading logic. Now, for our trading logic, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a list. Now, this list is going to hold all of the sentiment that we store in the sent variable, okay? And so we're just going to continuously append each new sentiment to this list. Now, we're going to append it, and then once we pass about 200 or 300 items in this list, then we're going to start checking for our trading signal. Now, our trading signal will be taking the mean of, let's say, the past 300 sentiments and taking the average of those. Now, if that average passes a certain threshold, we are going to consider that a buying signal or a selling signal. Okay, so let's start working on it. And the first thing that we need to do is create an empty list. Okay, so let's go at the top here, right above our for loop, and let's create an empty list like this. Okay, and we're going to change this name. We're going to change this to sentiment list, and this is where we're going to store all of our sentiment variables. Now, if we ran our Reddit file, you'll notice that there's a lot of neutral sentiments when you run it. Not right now, but normally there's a lot of zero sentiments, and that just means that the sentiment is neutral. Now, we don't want to add that to our list, so we can simply do if sent.polarity does not equal 0. So if it's not 0, then what do we want to do? Well, we want to append it to our list. And we can simply do it like this. And so we're going to append this sentiment that we got from this Reddit comment, and we're going to append it to the sentiment list as long as it's not 0.0, just because it might inflate the neutral sentiment and we won't be able to pass our thresholds properly. Okay, so now we can take the average of our list, and in order to do that, actually we'll work on that afterwards. Let's start working on the trading signals. So let's do if round, and we're going to round the average of our list. Okay, and if this average is greater than 0.5 and the len of the list is greater than let's say 300, so if we have 300 elements in our list, then we can start checking for the signal. I like to check for this just because at first our mean is going to be very skewed because we don't have much data. So I do like to make sure we have enough data so that we can properly make sure that our mean won't be skewed. So now that we have that, we do need to create this function called average, which takes in a list and computes the average of the list. And we'll create a variable to store this 300 in. So the first thing we'll do is below the sentiment list, let's create a new function, and we'll call it def average, and it's going to take in the list. And so in here, if our len of the list is equal to 0, then we just simply want to return the len of the list. And the reason we're doing that is we can't compute the length of the list if there's 0 elements. So we just need to do this first check to make sure we do it properly. So now we can do the else statement, and in the else statement we'll do return, and we'll take the sum of the list, and we're going to go back 300 elements. Okay, so this is going to get the last 300 elements in our list, and it's going to compute the mean. And we'll just do 300. So let's actually create a variable to store these 300s. So we can do needed sentiments, and we'll set that to 300, and then we can simply copy this and paste it wherever we put 300. Okay, so what do we just do? We built a list where we can append all of our sentiments. We created a variable which requires 300 values in our list so that we can start computing the mean. Next, we built a function And in this function, if the length of the list is equal to 0, we return the length of the list because we don't want to divide by 0 or have 0 in our division. And then we have our else statement, which just simply computes the mean of our list, of the last 300 elements in our list. And then we started doing our trading signal, okay? So let's continue doing that. And we'll work on the inside block afterwards, but for now, let's do the elif statement. So elif round, and we're gonna take the round of the average of our list. And if it's below 0.5 and the len of the list is greater than needed sentiments, then we consider this a selling signal. So let's just say print sell, and here we'll say print buy. Awesome. Okay. So now we have some more of our trading logic, but we will continue doing it in the next lecture. We do need to sign up with an exchange so that we can execute orders through an API. So that's what we'll work on in the next episode. We'll sign up to Binance, and we will sign up to the API, and then we'll bring in the API key and secret into our Python file, and we'll start executing trade orders. So I'll see you in the next lecture.